Hello students, welcome to EPG Pashala. I am Professor C.P. Bashish from the Department of Library and Information Science, University of Delhi. I retired from there in this January 2000. Today we are going to talk on the module Pioneers of Library Movement Part 1 from paper Public Library. It describes the individuals from Gujarat and Rajasthan. A good number of individuals from different parts of India have contributed significantly toward the development of public library movement. Not only they aroused love and affection, interest in the education, learning, they also provided necessary means and supported the cause of public library movement in very many different ways. There were people from royalty, academics, educationists, social reformists, as well as common man who contributed their best to take the book to the doorstep of all. Because of space constraints, it may not be possible even to enumerate their names here. However, it will be unfair on our part not to recall their role these people played in their respective fields. Hence, a brief account of only a select few is given over here to introduce the students of library science with these leading library promoters of yesteryears. To make the students aware of the role of book-minded people in the spread of library movement in the country. Syajirao Gaikwad III. He was born in 1862 and died in 1939. He said when he was in Aligarh that education is the basis of all reforms and is only way of salvation from our present condition. Maharaja Syajirao Gaikwad, shortly we call him MSRG of Baroda, now Vadodara in Gujarat, was not born as a prince but was adopted as the successor to the throne of Baroda state in the year 1875. His original name was Gopal Rao. He was born in March 1862. Maharani Jamnabai, the widow of Maharaja Khande Rao, adopted him as the heir and successor to the throne. Mr. F.H. Eliot was appointed as a tutor to educate MSRG and to prepare him for the kingship. At the age of 18 in 1881, he was invested with the full powers of the government. The treasury of the Baroda estate, which had a reserve of 1,515 million rupees. This was all due to the able administration of Sir T. Madhava Rao. Syajirao Gaikwad was amongst the foremost Indian princes who labored hard for the good of his subjects. He was a true Indian national. Syajirao was a great man indeed, with a career behind him of which anyone might be proud of. He gave full opportunities to the villagers so that the village people could achieve real progress and develop. Social reformer. Sir Syajirao Gaikwad was a pioneer in India for many social reforms. He made a significant contribution towards social upliftment in India by bringing out great social reforms in Baroda state. Some of the major areas where he made social and administrative reforms to uplift the people of Baroda state are prevention of child marriage, allowed widows remarriage, removed caste tyranny, abolished unsociability, introduced reforms in agriculture, introduced reforms in revenue, introduced preparation of annual budget and the regular audit, established Bank of Baroda in 1908, restored the ancient system of self-government in villages, that is Panchayat, and formation of Dhara Sabha, that is State Legislative Assembly. Baroda became the first Indian state to build railways on a wide scale, introduced free and compulsory education, established a network of public libraries throughout the state. He started Kala Bhavan at Baroda for technical education. In one of the orders, Sir Syajirao says, I believe I may safely state that the BSc degree or science education would be of greater help the development of technical education, to the development of technical education in this country, and at the same time be just as useful, if not more, in practical life than simple BA or the art course. Tours to America and Europe. Sir Saji Rao went to Europe in March 1905 and America in May 1906 with a view to study the life and culture of people of these countries. Hence he went as an observer, as a student and knowledge seeker, so that required or acquired knowledge and experience could be gained and make Baroda state an ideal state of India. He inquired into the question of industrial development, agricultural development, labor unions, child rearing, education and libraries. During his foreign travels, he was much impressed by the scientific outlook of people of America and Europe. He was also impressed by the tremendous influence of education and free public libraries on the culture and civilization or civil life of those countries. Interest in education. Education was the special hobby of Sir Saji Rao. For all his working life, he had no hesitation in saying that we cannot do better than educate all our subjects. He was a prince among educators and an educator among princes. His greatest success among the various reforms was free and compulsory education for all boys and girls of the state. MSRG was the father of his people, and father's duty includes the mental as well as physical welfare of the children. People by themselves do very little in the cause of public education Hence, there was only one way by which his ideal of public education could be attained, that was compulsion. Hence, MSRG introduced compulsory education. Baroda state was the first state among the states in British India to introduce compulsory education. All boys and girls from 7 to 8 years were compelled to go to the school. He gave special attention to female education. He established training college for women teachers in 1881. Library movement of Baroda state. Closely connected with compulsory education is the library movement, which is the social special feature of the Baroda state and in which it can claim to be the pioneer in India. On public libraries, MSRG believed that the public library is the people's university. Neither school nor the college can take a learner to the end of his life in the pursuit of knowledge. Library is the only place where a person can continue his lifelong education, a prerequisite for keeping pace with the development in the field of knowledge. The collection of books of the library should be selected very carefully and organized properly. His concept of libraries was as follows: knowledge cannot be attained without the self-sacrifice. India is poor and its wants are many, but this is a condition to be the resolutely faced as other nations have faced. It is the past and as many as others must face it in the future. The people must rise superior to their circumstances and realize that the more knowledge is their greatest need, their greatest want. They must be brought up to the book, not simply attractive binding or the pretty pictures, but their contents. They must be taught to regard books as part of their lives. Libraries will not then appear a luxury but a necessity of existence. For the want of mental sustenance, we lose many of the pleasures and opportunities God had placed at our disposal. All of our facilities are not developed. We must educate them and teach others to do the same. That is what libraries are for. The numbers who avail themselves, the numbers who avail themselves of the opportunities offered may be few, but should not discourage those who, like many of you, are workers in the libraries. Your duties and responsibilities are great, great even than those of the magistrates of the subas. You are the servants of the whole community. You must induce them to read more and more books, particularly the children who are the hope of the future generations. Mr. Warden realizes the importance of this phase of the work as well as I do, and I have no doubt that his ideas will be well carried out by his staff. I have no desire, therefore, to labor the point. One other thing, however, I would urge upon you the importance of the sympathetic and polite treatment of all readers, whatever their condition. Public library development. Gujarat has a rich heritage of public library movement. MSRG was the pioneer of the library movement in India. He was of the opinion that state-aided free public libraries are absolutely essential for continuing education. Money spent on few years of compulsory primary education would go waste unless there is an adequate provision for follow-up work as the lifelong process. Only free public library services can keep masses illiterate. After formal education is over, Maharaja linked up primary education with the free public library as a matter of rule. The library movement in Baroda started 1910 when the primary education also was made free and compulsory. The library department was not founded until 1910 and therefore it belongs to the later period of the reign. But the idea had long been simmering in the Maharaja's mind, and the library movement is also essential as part of the whole scheme of cultural advance on which he had set his heart. That is, it would be an unwarrantable violence to separate it from its content. William Allenson Borden, born 1854, died in 1931. Maharaja Syajirao Gaikwad III of Baroda was an administrator of great foresight. He could easily realize that for introducing a statewide system of public library services after the pattern of similar systems of services in Western democracies, the help of a foreign expert at the initial stage would be indispensable. His choice fell on Mr. William Allenson Borden, one of the ablest and devoted pioneers among the library experts in USA. Borden was appointed Director of State Library Department of Public Libraries, Baroda in 1910. His first contract with the Baroda State was for 1 year. His excellent personal qualities and professional competence, particularly in the matters of making friends in an alien country and drawing up workable programs of development, made him so popular and indispensable that the state desired to retain his services as long as possible. He stayed in India for 3 years and within this period organized a state central library to serve as the nerve center for clearing house for a well-planned and coordinated system of public libraries in the prant, town, village levels with provision for mobile libraries covering remote places otherwise not possible for. There are many glowing counts of the great enthusiasm that was created among the people who came forward to establish public libraries at various levels with their own contributions against a proportionate state grant according to the scheme introduced by Borden and faithfully executed by inspired and devoted band of men and women comprising J.S. Kudalkar, Moti Bhai and Amin, Newton Mohan Dutt, B.M. Dada Chanji, Mrs. Anandibai Prabhu Desai, Mr. N.C. Diwanji and others. In an obituary note published in 1932, N.C. Diwanji, Superintendent Travelling Libraries and editor of Pustakalay, a library periodical in Gujarati language, one of the persons whom Borden trained gave a brief account of the antecedents of Baroda up to 1910 as follows. Mr. William Allenson Borden was born on 4th April 1854 at New Bradford in USA. After completing his school education in 1870, he studied for 3 years in Cornell University and then spent a few years studying law in his office of father, Mr. Allenson Borden, who was a magistrate. Mr. Borden took some time before he discovered that his real vocation in life was that of librarian. At first, he became a farmer and then as a bookbinder. He converted his bindery into a library supply house. His interest in library profession thus aroused. He studied library technique for 3 years under the care of Charles A. Cutter, one of the founders of modern librarianship and the inventor of extensive classification and the Cutter author table. After completion of the course, he assisted in the organization of the rural library work in Rochester in 1885. In 1887, he was appointed as a lecturer in the Columbia University Library School under Mr. Melville Dewey. In this school, he worked for 5 years. He left it to join his appointment as the librarian of the Livonia Library in Yale University. Later on, he organized the library and the Young Men's Institute, New Haven, a children's room and a school library and a stem of traveling libraries were amongst the special features which he introduced in this library. Moti Bhai Amin, born 1873, died in 1939. Shri Moti Bhai Amin was born on 29th November 1873, Alendra village of Kheda district in a Patidar family. He was a social reformer, educationist, curate of state government. He is the icon of inspiration in spreading library movement in the then princely state of Baroda. He established libraries at many nearby places like Kheda, Patan, Petlad, Anand and Vadodara. In the true sense of village culture, he was a propagator of education in villages. He believed that each village must have a library which will be used by villagers free of cost. Each member of the society may be literate, illiterate, must make use of the library. He is the cult of great grand man, Bhisham Pitama, as he engaged himself in the overall development of the libraries situated in the nearby villages. He developed libraries as the laboratories of education. Like a scientist making research in his lab and obtaining results, he opened the doors of the libraries for the lovers of education. Motibai and Amin contributed a lot in giving a proper direction to Maharaja Syajirao Gaikwad's education and library policies. Syajirao had said, libraries are the true universities of humanity, and Moti Amin gave a shape to the policies of establishing the library services in many villages. An award for the best library in the form of certificate course has been instituted, which is still continuing to perpetuate his memory. To encourage people, in one of his speeches, he once said that people establish temples and dharamshalas, but no one thinks to establish a library for the cause of education. When he established a student library in Vaso village, he collected some contribution from some members of the society, but the funds were found insufficient for the purpose. So he pledged to raise the required amount of his own. This was the boldest step on his part, who was working as a teacher on a salary of Rs 60 per month. Such was the enthusiasm Moti Bhai Amin had for the cause of library. This library was later named after him as M.N. Amin Public Library. Moti Bhai Amin was a lover of education and loved educational activities. He believed that library is the foundation of education, hence he started the library movement. He worked for the promotion of reading habits among students, adult men and women. In his book, History of Library System, he wrote, as the American businessmen try hard for the marketing of their products, in the same way librarians there also try their best to persuade people to read more and more books. That is why the reading habit among Americans has increased. The same type of efforts are to be required in India. Major contributions. In his life, he gave preference to library activities and performed the following acts. In 1906, he established the first public library at village Petlad in Gujarat, named as Mitra Mandal Pustakalaya. With his untiring efforts, the library established at Vaso in 1890 started getting grants, and its library building was inaugurated at the hands of Shri Sampatrao Gaikwad. Having observed the project to spread the knowledge and public education in America, Shri Syajirao Gaikwad of Baroda state established a separate department of library and appointed Moti Bhai Amin as assistant curator. About 8,000 books were packed in boxes and sent to different libraries to be issued to readers in 18 villages. In 1890, he also established another library for students at Vaso, and with his friends he started managing its affairs. Moti Bhai also started a mobile library on the lines of America in Baroda state in 1911 and got approved by the British officer William Allenson Borden and got a grant of rupees 6,000. He bought books worth the amount, packed them 150 boxes. This project profited many villages. Newton Mohan Dutt. Mr. Newton Mohan Dutt was curator of State Libraries, Baroda. He joined the Department of Public Libraries in 1914. He served the department in different capacities. After the exit of Mr. William Allison Borden, Maharaja Syajirao Gaikwad sent Mr. J.S. Gudalkar abroad to study the libraries of the world. Initially appointed Mr. Moti Bhai N. Amin as acting curator of libraries in 1913. He was replaced by Mr. Newton Mohan Dutt as acting curator of libraries in 1914. Mr. Dutt brought out the second edition of Baroda Library Handbook in 1921. The third edition was brought out by him in 1924. Mr. Dutt took active part along with Mr. Moti Bhai N. Amin in organizing Baroda Library Association in 1925 and played a key role in its conferences organized at Ganadevi in 1925, at Dwarika in 1926 and at Petlad in 1928. He was also instrumental in the establishment of Baroda Pustakalaya Sahayak Sehkari Mandal in 1925, formation of a first Taluk Library Association Basodia in 1926. He was also responsible for bringing out the Baroda library movement from 1911 to 1925 in Gujarati language in the year 1927. Mr. J.S. Kudalkar, born 1882, died in 1921. Shri Janardhan S. Kudalkar was born in 1882 in a poor goldsmith family in Mumbai. Soon after his birth, he lost his father. Events that followed proved as if the poor orphan was destined to grow up as a highly educated and cultured man in order to blaze the path of library movement in India with a brilliant intellect and ability, and then suddenly slip away in the early age of 39 years, leaving generations of Indian librarians to mourn his loss. If Maharaja Syajirao Gaikwad III is the father of library movement in India, and if Mr. W.A. Borden is the maker of the first blueprint of this movement, then Kudalkar is the first administrator and a very able one as such who gave life and content to the library movement. Education career. Through unusual industry, perseverance and devotion to studies, Kudalkar overcame the utter helplessness and poor conditions of his childhood and pursued his education. All through he earned scholarships and stipends for his proficiencies and outstanding performance in his school and colleges. He passed MA examination of Bombay University in 1905 and later also took LLB degree of the same university. Soon after completion of his studies, he was appointed Professor of Sanskrit at the Anand Anglo-Vedic College in Lahore and served there till he was appointed librarian in Maharaja's Palace Library, which soon became the nerve center of the statewide public library system in Baroda. Library tours in foreign countries. Sir Gaikwad was so pleased with the work of J.S. Godalkar that he deputed him at considerable state expenses to study on the spot the public library system in countries of Europe, United States of America, and Japan. After making extensive study of the library system in different countries, particularly in USA, he returned to Baroda in 1915 to take over the worthy successor of Warden as director of Department of Libraries of the state. He took up this onerous assignment with great enthusiasm and promise. The Central Library of Baroda, the town and village libraries, the mobile library units, the in-service training course for librarians, and all other programs planned by Warden received his able guiding. Warden also initiated a publication of Quarterly Journal, the very first of its kind in India, to propagate the message of library movement in this country. The first issue of the journal, under the title Library Miscellany, came out in August 1912. Godalkar, who was a person of considerable learning and experience as a writer, became its editor. He ably edited the journal that at once earned reputation as a first-rate library periodical from India. Master Motilal Ji, born 1876, died 1949. Master Motilal was born on 25th April 1876 in the Chaumu town of Jaipur district of the present state of Rajasthan. Chaumu has been a renowned Tazmi Thikana of the erstwhile state of Jaipur. Shri Laduram, the grandfather of Master Sahib, was the Kamdar of Thikana and a very eminent and respectable person of Chaumu. Shri Laduram had three sons, Shri Vijayalal, Shri Pannalal, and Shri Johari-Lal. Master Motilal was the son of Shri Vijayalal. Master Sahib studied up to 6th standard upper primary in Chaumu itself. As facilities for further education were not available in Chaumu, he came to Jaipur and in 1897 he passed from there the matriculation examination of the University of Allahabad. He gave up his formal education in 1899 when he was studying in the intermediate classes. He earned his living for many years by undertaking tuitions after he had left college. On 27th October 1907, he was appointed as the headmaster of a vernacular middle school in Jaipur. At that time, his monthly salary was only 15 rupees. Nearly after a year, when this school was closed, he was appointed as an assistant teacher in the Maharaja Collegiate High School on the same salary. On 20th July 1917, he was transferred to Shivpol Middle School on the same post and salary. Later on, he got an increment of Rs 5 in this institution on May 1, 1920. After this, he got two increments of Rs 5 each up to 1923, and thus on September 1, 1923, he was drawing a monthly salary of Rs 30. In July 1925, Master Sahib was transferred to the Chandpur High School, and there he got an annual increment of Rs 2 in the scale of 24 to 40. Master Sahib continued to teach mathematics in this high school up to 1937. And in the month of November of the same year, after completing 30 years of government service, he retired on his pension of Rs 20 at the age of 61. For the rest of his life, he continued to draw this sum as government pension. Establishment of Sri Sanmati Pustakalaya. Earlier, Master Sahib used to spend a certain portion of his income, roughly Rs 7 or 8, on feeding the poor in order to render some service to the community, or bringing some millet for the pigeons. Now he began to spend nearly 10 rupees on buying books on spiritual subjects. He had already some books with him. Thus, in a very short period, he made a collection of about 1,000 and 1,500 books. With this collection, he started Sanmati Pustakalaya in 1920 at a short distance away from his residence. In addition to his work of teaching, he went to houses of his acquaintances, friends and other respected persons with these books during spare hours in morning, evening or in school holidays, and gave these to them, keeping in mind their taste and competence. Not only did he insist on their reading these books, but he impressed upon them the need of self-education, self-knowledge in life along with the value of following the right path. Himself, he went to them again to collect books back when they were read or they were due. If someone could not read owing to slackness, he explained to them the need and importance of study and inspired him to read the books and develop taste for books. Devotion to Pustakalaya. In the beginning, Master Sahab could devote to Pustakalaya only his spare time after teaching, but he began to devote more time and energy to the Pustakalaya as it grew. After his retirement, he started spending his whole life and later he went to his home only to take meals. For the rest of the time, during day and night, he stayed in the Pustakalaya and put in every ounce of energy and every second of his time into it. He was not only the founder and patron of the Sanmati Pustakalaya, but he was its manager, its writer, a peon, and also everything himself. Thus, in the Pustakalaya, he did everything himself, right from dusting, buying, wrapping covers on books, their accessioning in register, and finally their issuing too, and collection back from the readers both at their homes and in the Pustakalaya. The initiatives taken and reforms introduced by Sir Maharaja Shaji Rao Gaikwad III have been an eye-opener in laying the solid foundation of library movement in India. Team comprising William Allenson Borden, Moti Bhai and Amin, J.S. Kodalkar and Newton Mohan Dutt, formed in 1910, did a wonderful work which became a model for other Indian states to follow. The other model, though small, is that of Master Motilal, who single-handedly, without the support of government, built and ran a public library in Jaipur, popularly called Sanmati Pustakalaya. Thank you.